What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hero Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, so we just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I am joined as always by my best man, Mr. Sean. Me and Sean, how's it going?
Very warm today, Connor. We're in a heat wave. It's 24 degrees outside. It's 29 degrees in my room, so...
See, now what you've done there is, now you're going to get Americans who will convert that to Fahrenheit and then say, wow, that is really, really not warm.
But lads, it's humid. I'm wearing several winter coats.
Have you seen how white we are?
Yeah, look at me. I'm made
We're translucent. If it gets above 15 degrees, I'm sweating.
That's lads, if I go outside of a fridge, right, I'll melt.
You don't want that, boys. You don't want that for us. So, look, it's a bit warm in Ireland for once. We've had a few days of sun and we don't know what to do with it. So, I decided, because it was a bit warm, everyone's in a good mood. You're out with friends. You're having a few drinks. You're having a good time, Sean.
Where's this going?
I wanted to do a report on a character that ultimately is incredibly sad.
Jesus, why do you do this? One of the sunniest, hottest days of the year, and
you're sitting there in your Hawaii shirt. I'm like, hang on, I got a really haunting tale to tell.
I've got like a drink that's served in a coconut.
Ever heard a ghost story when you're dressed like that? You haven't. Now this is the time to do it. Now, if this is somebody's first episode, you don't have to do anything. You can just chill out. But if it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share. Whatever way you can support the show, that would really help us out. We're currently going for 200 5-star reviews over on Spotify before the winter solstice, before all the sun goes away and Sean is in his natural habitat of happiness.
God, I can't wait. Dark at 5 p.m. I say this now, I'm going to be miserable when it happens.
Oh yeah, he's always, all year round.
There's a week in autumn where I'm like, this is class.
The leaves haven't fully dropped and it's not lashing rain.
Yeah.
This is great.
May 5th. Fucking love it, lads.
Also, this episode is completely ad-free, and the reason for that is because we have a Patreon where big bunch of legends, they all support us over there. You can head on over. We have extra movie reviews, bonus content, just exclusive content over there of all these movie reviews that we release every single month.
We'll be recording our August movie review soon, so it's still not too late to get in suggestions for what you want us to talk about. They
suggest that we have to review it. It's the rules of the game. So
it's the rules that we set up and we hate the rules.
It also means this episode completely ad free. So thank you to everyone over there who supports us. We couldn't do it without you. But Sean, it's time to get into some report.
And the report is Raid Shadow Legends. Just completely lie.
Now to get into all of the recent deaths in the local area. Let's list them.
Oh no.
So I am going to be covering a character, Sean, that appeared in Arrow season 6 or 5. I can't remember.
It's still too late for a season of Arrow.
I'm going to be covering Adrian Chase, otherwise known as Vigilante.
I remember Adrian Chase.
He had great hair, that actor, whoever he was.
He was a very John Hamm type of guy, you know?
He was.
Like a CW John Hamm.
Now, Vigilante was created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez back in 1982. And he had basically like a 5 or 6 year run in comic books in the 80s. All throughout, like, the crisis things were all happening in the background. None of it affected him. His character was just off to the side doing some mad shit. Now, he's technically an anti-hero, but his first appearance was in New Teen Titans, which in 1981 or 2 when he appeared was the It book of DC at that exact time.
That Teen Titans was like, here's what we're hanging everything on it. Like this is always going to sell well.
So Marv Wolf and George Perez had come in on Teen Titans and it had basically exploded. Like, it was like one of their best sellers in the entire company. Like, that's when... So now you're transitioning from Robin to Nightwing. All that stuff is happening over there. You also have just... Everyone just is in it's also a younger team, so you get lots of younger readers. So obviously that's real good. You kind of get them all in because they kind of copied the X-Men on the other side. Like, it's the same thing, right? So he first appeared in the New Teen Titans, and then he got his own series straight after that. Now, the genesis of the character actually began, and Marv Wolfman, I have a little quote from Marv Wolfman, who was writing Daredevil comic books. How many times do you think he heard that?
Look, if he's listening to this, at least one more.
So he was writing Daredevil comic books in the 70s, and someone asked him where he came up with the idea for Vigilante, and he said he was writing an issue in which Daredevil was fighting another hero called Torpedo, and as the fight progressed, it moved off the streets and into like a random house. And it had to come to an abrupt stop when the owner of the house, who was a mother protecting her kids, screamed at the two of them that they were destroying her house and to get out, right? And the two heroes looked at the damage around them and realised that their thoughtless aggression had real-world consequences.
Okay. For the 80s, that's really quite on the nose.
For the 70s.
70s, excuse me.
So he wrote this in the 70s, and he said that ever since he wrote that, he kept thinking about that story. And as a result, he decided he wanted to explore the theme of real-world consequences for super heroic action and base like an entire hero on that instead of just like a few panels in a story. Yeah. And then he was like, I want to deconstruct all the cliches of superhero comics and their fight scenes. And so you have a law-abiding district attorney named Adrian Chase, who's good at his job, but keeps having his court victories overturned on minor technicalities due to corrupt legal systems.
Now, can I just say, what a brilliant idea for a character comic. Never before has such a character been conceived.
Now, 10 years earlier, Marvel had come up with a little known character. You probably don't know him. He's called the Punisher. And I suppose he's not involved in law. He's not a law-abiding he's not a district attorney.
No, he's also not a law-abiding citizen for what it's
absolutely
worth.
Not. He follows that movie's premise exactly. But
what a reference.
A 2004 classic. No, I understand that the Punisher was about, and you had these characters that were there, and they wanted a DC version, basically. Vigilante was, and I'm going to be honest with you, a train wreck of a comic book. Baffling, mesmerising, and basically a kamikaze train wreck from everything I've read over the last few days.
That's insane, because surely that's just just draw a man with gun killing bad guys.
Well, it was their answer to the Punisher, and it was only grittier and more depressing.
So what? He's had 2 families killed.
They brought them back to life and then killed them again.
That's happened to the Punisher.
It genuinely, I was reading these comics earlier on. These yokes. I was so annoyed at them by the end of it. I was so depressed. I was like, this is ruining my day, actively reading this. They throw so much shit at it. And I can't tell you that it's a fun read. But it's one of those where I think I'll go back to it a few years and be like, was it as fucked up as I remember? And yes, yes it was.
That's, like, in terms of what happens to Vigilante or what Vigilante
does to him, to everyone you know, to everyone he loves.
Interesting. Oh. Am I supposed to feel bad for this guy?
This is one of those things, right? And why I mentioned that was baffling is that it does everything. Like, you're meant to feel sorry for him, but it never really gets to that point. He's also meant to be, like, a really good DA, but as far as I can tell, he's quite shit at being a DA. He just, like, he does things and the criminals eventually just keep getting out because he fucks up.
Yeah. Which I think there's an easier way to, knuckle down in your profession rather than take up arms against crime.
Yeah. So Adrian Chase was born into a life of wealth and privilege, the only son of a prominent New York attorney, Charles Chase. Early on, Adrian excelled in all academics, and he went to like the finest schools. He was on the 1960 United States Olympic track team, and he graduated. He graduated from Harvard Law School 3 years later. So just perfect human being.
Yeah, as all men were in the 70s and 80s.
In the 60s.
When he would have been doing this, yes.
It would have been, yeah. After graduation, Adrian began practicing corporate law for his father's exclusive and well-connected firm. He then soon grew impatient in the rarefied atmosphere of all the rich and influential people, and he wanted to kind of get out of the country clubs and do his own thing. So,
what does he do?
No, he sought and landed a job at a legal aid office on Manhattan's Lower East Side, and his resignation led to a bit of a fight between him and his dad, but he wanted to basically do his own thing. And there he met Doris Brinkley, a young paralegal, whom he would eventually have a bit of a romance with and marry. So, all good.
Conor, this is a lovely story.
It's all coming in Millhouse. I'm not depressed at all.
He forgoes his wealthy upbringing to help regular people, finds love along the way.
And, Sean, he attracted considerable media attention when he took up the defence for young men resisting the draft for Vietnam in the late 60s.
Oh!
Yeah, and he became known as this like young leftist lawyer who's like doing good, like socialism stuff.
He's woke. He's woke before it was woke.
He's woke before woke. Yes.
Oh my God. He's pre-woke.
He's pre-woke.
He's still dreaming.
Unfortunately, funding for his legal aid office was eventually cut, and he was forced to seek employment elsewhere. And gradually, as with many of the generation of the time, his revolutionary zeal of his youth began to cool.
Oh, it's scary how often it happens, folks.
So his family also now included Doris, and they have 2 kids together. So all coming to Millhouse there. Seeing in Adrian like the kind of man he needed to bust the mob's hold on the city, the Manhattan DA offered him a position on his staff. So, all going well, he accepts with enthusiasm. He has a relentless pursuit of the city's criminal hierarchy, and he gets lots of praise and public praise, especially in the newspapers, like, this is the DA, think Harvey Dent before Two-Face.
Oh, it's the best a DA can be.
It's the best a DA can be. It did, however, Sean, what happens when you do go after the mob?
It all goes swimmingly because you're doing the right thing. You know?
They leave you alone.
They leave you alone. They don't fight back at all. They kind of roll over and take it, to be honest with you.
It also earned him many powerful enemies in the underworld. Foremost among these was Anthony Scarapelli, head of one of New York's mob families, against whom Adrian was gathering incriminating evidence. Now, he doesn't really come across as a bad guy so much as like a frustrated idealist trying to seek justice at this point in the comic books.
Okay.
He's
so
like
he was this like, I'll change the world for a while, and then like through the lens of capitalism everyone has to conform, so then he had to kind of adapt.
But the comic even kind of does do like a weird parallel between him and like Batman at a certain point. Like they're very similar. They both want justice, but they go about it in their own way.
They both come from wealthy backgrounds. It's the only way.
They both break people's spines. Oh wait, no, he hasn't yet.
He hasn't yet, but he's about to. Just watch.
Indeed, for a while it seemed as if Adrian Chase was going to take Batman's place as Dick Grayson's crime-fighting partner in the Teen Titans comic books for a little bit, those issues he was in, because the Teen Titans are working with him, and Robin's there and he's like, you're trying to do good. We're trying to do good, let's work together. However...
So sorry, was he set up as like the Jim Gordon type man on the inside kind of deal?
He's the DA, so he's working with the Titans to bring down crime in his first few issues. But it's also in those issues, it's very clear early on that Robin's like, we need to bring these men to justice using the law. And he's like, the fucking law? Like, let's go under like, you're the Teen Titans. Go break their legs.
Yeah. But if I was you guys, I would just break all their legs all the time.
And of course, little Dickie Robin is just like, we have to follow the law. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. G.A.
There are rules. You might not know this, but the law is a strict set of rules.
Because I think there's even a panel where he's like, but you're the DA. And he's like, I hate those laws as much as anybody.
The DA, but I'm not the system.
They then soon find out that the only reason Chase brought the Teen Titans along, as they broke into the house of a notorious drug lord, was because Robin was legally deputised, so the DA could collar the mobster while engaging in a dodgy strategy of intimidation using the heroes with him. So now he's using them as like, it's dodgy law dealings.
So Robin can perform like a legal arrest, and it still counts. It's not like assault and kidnapping.
But yeah, but the police won't work with him, so he's using them, but he's pretending like he's doing it for good. So this is all happening. It's all going well. But did I mention the fact that Adrian Chase had a wife and kids?
You did mention that earlier. Loving wife and 2 kids, I believe you said.
Do you want to guess how it turns out?
Kids go off to a private boarding school.
Yeah.
And the wife retires to an island.
A bomb placed in Adrian's apartment exploded as planned by the mob, and instead of killing him, it killed his wife and children.
Jesus,
great.
He's not gonna take this well.
No, that guy who's on the edge already is not going to take
that man who was one feather away from being flattened by a camel.
Having survived this explosion, and this is my favourite part, unlike his wife and children,
who are dead as shit, by the way.
So dead, 100% dead. In the new Teen Titans Annual number 2, Adrian Chase created the identity of Vigilante as he tracked down the man responsible for the attack and then killed him. Albeit sort of in self-defence on his first kill, but he does get more violent as the issues progress.
Because, as we all know, killing a man is the best you can ever feel.
Makes you feel good.
Makes you feel big and tough, you know?
Especially if he's smaller than you. Get him.
They completely unrelated. Have you seen The Naked Gun yet?
Yeah, I haven't.
Lad, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
You specifically, out of all of the humans in the world, have to watch this movie because it's made for you.
I love when a movie's made for me.
It's 90 minutes. Go watch it, have a good time.
Do you know, that's a pure sign of friendship that you were watching it going, I know somebody that this is made for.
There's multiple times I looked to the seat to my left, it was empty. I was like, God, I wish Conor were there.
You were there with your fiancée.
I wasn't, but she was on my right, you know.
You were like, get out of here. We don't need you here.
Here, video call Conor there.
I want to talk to him. So he creates the identity of the Vigilante. He goes out, he gets his first kill. He then gets a spin-off of his own series called Vigilante, where he goes after criminals who had been proven guilty, yet were then released on technicalities.
So he's Daredevil.
Yes. With New York's rampant street crime as background and his family tragedy as a trigger to brutally take the law into his own hands, he basically comes from the same tradition as characters like the Punisher and the Executioner, or with a little bit of Daredevil thrown in.
Because he is working in the law as well.
Yeah. However, the comic book does treat him like shit. This is a series about a street vigilante where the stories don't really always validate his vigilantism. In that, like, they never really tell you he's in the right. You know how, like, in the Punisher comic books, the bad guys, they always kind of get what they deserve because you have to make them so bad that the Punisher is like, I'm going to get you. And you're like, yeah, you should get them.
Yeah, like to side with the guy who is just going around murdering people. There generally, as a reader, there needs to be a good reason for them to do that.
Yeah.
So it's usually like the worst of the worst.
But they want to have that, but then simultaneously also have the fact that the protagonist's actions can cause all sorts of horrible side effects. And like he should probably stop doing this.
Yeah, like this isn't actually for justice. This is for him that he's doing.
And also, and I don't mean this, I don't want to offend anyone, so much sexual assault in all these fucking 80s comics books, man. It's so weird.
Yeah. It was like they had lifted the Comics Code Authority so you could draw basically whatever you want. And certain things hold comics more than others.
Like the first 3 or 4 issues, all the criminals that he deals with are all people who've committed sexual assault.
Yeah, and look, there was a lot of that in early Daredevil stuff as well. Like Daredevil from the 80s, there's a lot of that.
Find a different plot line, lads. I can understand one.
Yeah. Because it's an awful, horrendous thing.
Yeah.
But like, write it as an awful, horrendous thing, and not like, hey, you get to see this comic panel if you buy this.
Yeah,
comic.
So shortly after his, sorry. By the way, I should mention, and this is something that was added in slightly just after the first few issues. Shortly after his family's deaths, Chase is approached at his wife's grave by a hooded woman named Lynn. In an origin story, he related to his associates. Chase claimed that Lynn drove him west in a van and forced him to walk for 3 days or 4 days through the desert. In a cavern underneath the desert sands, he's greeted by 3 spirits, Sean, named Bloody Knee, Chaka, and Chastity. Chase spent 6 months with them, enduring incredible physical and spiritual trials, and he emerged with new powers and a new sense of purpose.
And this is all off screen, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it is. I can just do it now.
To seek justice his own way, as the anti-hero Vigilante, I go after those proven guilty of crimes who are then released because of some stupid technicality, he says. So they started it, and then they were like, we kind of want to give him some superpowers, but we don't want to give him that many superpowers. So
yeah.
He has a way that he can regenerate. He can heal himself, but to a certain point.
Okay, so like he can heal slightly faster than normal people, but it probably takes a lot of effort, is what I'm guessing.
If you shoot him 10 times, he's dead. But if you shoot him once, he'll heal.
Yeah, his broken bones, they might be like a week of being broken instead.
Less than that.
Less.
Yeah, less than that, because the spiritual, the demons.
That's wild, because it's not even science. It's spiritual.
Spiritual.
So it's the idea that anyone could learn this.
Now, when he was initially shown, one of his main pains was that he didn't kill his enemies, and he would regularly use non-lethal weapons to disable his opponents, Batman style. However, he's tormented over the justice of his actions and the pain brought to others, and multiple times he flirts with the idea of abandoning the vigilante identity altogether, after he savagely beats an ex-convict who turns out to be innocent. So, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, these comics are the most confusing comics I've read. Now, maybe I'm dumb, right? But they're going for the Punisher right now. I am dumb as well, don't. That's you were going to jump in.
I was about to double down, and I thought, no, I'll be nice.
He likes the Naked Gun movies. But, he's doing the thing where he's the Punisher, and he's like getting these bad guys, but then they're like, oh, he was actually innocent, that convict. And then you're like, oh, who do I feel bad for now?
Yeah, they're kind of playing they kind of want both results from this comic of like his actions are good and his actions are bad. Because
he also does like the one-liners. He does like the cool one-liners, and he like calls back to something that the bad guy said to them earlier on, and like before he kills them or before he like fucking maims them, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. But simultaneously you have just killed a clearly innocent man. So what is the point here?
I looked him up because I know he's in Peacemaker, but I looked him up in the comics, and he does kind of look like a villain.
Yeah. And he's called Vigilante, which I know is technically like Batman kind of style, but it just starts with a V. You think villain.
Villain-gelante.
Villain-gelante, right? So he eventually abandons his vigilante identity, believing that he could be more effective and happier as a judge. But during his absence, the vigilante identity is assumed by 2 of his friends, a fellow judge called Alan Wells, don't worry about, and a bailiff called Dave Winston. Don't worry about it. Without his knowledge.
Right. Okay.
They just wanted
judges
the paddle.
and bailiffs hang out outside of the court?
That I don't know. I do know this, that they just wanted the paddle of him quitting and then a new vigilante's in town killing people, and he's like, who is it if it's not me?
And then they do that twice.
Yeah, they basically do the same thing again. Those first issues, Sean, as I mentioned, are all over the place, with them throwing everything at the wall to see if it sticks. There's like sleaze, social commentary, you have like mysteries, you also have some ventures into like traditional superhero stuff. You gave Vigilante a weird mystic origin that involved being trained by spirits for some reason.
That's it. That's the most ludicrous part of this whole character, is that he's somehow kind of magic.
But he's also part of like a really hard-boiled noir crime comic where he's like solving crimes.
Yeah.
But he's also not an expert on law. So Adrian Chase feels like more and more frustrated as a judge, given that he's so shitty at being a judge that he constantly makes mistakes, that the technicalities get these people out. Because there's no plot if he's good at his job.
Yeah, if he can just efficiently send criminals to an appropriate level of punishment.
Yeah.
That's just a regular story at that point.
And it's so frustrating reading it as well, because I'm like, I don't know what this comic is. It's trying to be 7 different things, and it's not really doing any of them. It's giving me like 5 out of 10 in 6 categories.
But it's also like the stuff it's approaching is so like it's a high level of, if you write this well, it could be an unreal story.
Absolutely. Yes. So after Wells, sorry, this is, by the way, the two lads that take over. One of them, Wells, kills a police officer. And Winston, don't worry about him, dies at the hands of Peacemaker in the comic books.
Okay.
That's the connection between them. So Chase, once again, after the two of them die, assumes the vigilante role again. They also did a thing for 4 issues where he's not vigilante, and they just gave like a more ensemble piece where they were like going more into like the police and like, but we don't really ever spend time with the new vigilantes, so we're just spending time with the GA and the police
dealing with the fallout of.
It's so weird, right?
Interesting.
So Chase once again assumes the vigilante role, believing that it is the only way to protect his loved ones. However, his experiences with Wells and Winston have damaged his fragile psyche beyond repair, causing him to adopt more vicious tactics on his war on crime. And if things had been rough before, DC made them positively awful in the final stretch of stories, is what I will say, which are soaked in blood, drugs, sexual violence, socio-economic decay. Not to mention, there's a few traces of Islamophobia there. If you're missing that, it's the 80s. The series earned a suggested for mature readers label. Late 80s DC, however, was full of like dark reboots, so it wasn't seen as fully extreme, but there was no comics code authority on this. This was not. Yeah. This was free reign.
This is basically uncensored. They could do whatever they wanted
for mature readers.
Yeah, that's it's a weird time in comics because it was outlandish stuff done for the sake of it, for sure.
And you're just doing like you're going darker and darker and darker just for the sake of it.
Yeah. Whereas they're having like you can tell a story without all of that and still have it hit the same beats.
Yeah, and so seeking revenge on Peacemaker, who had killed the previous vigilante, Winston, an out-of-shape Adrian gets beaten in a fight and unmasked on live TV, thereby ending Chase's secret identity and forcing him further into the vigilante role, because he can no longer be DA, because everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, so he can't have his regular job or life. But to be fair, he doesn't seem to have much of a life outside of being vigilante.
No. Absolutely not. Eventually, Chase becomes ever more conflicted over the violence he engaged in and the harm he's caused to those around him. It's basically, you know, with Arrow, when every season he has to decide whether he wants to kill or not, and then he kills and then he doesn't kill?
Yeah.
It's basically that every issue.
Or he kills dozens of goons and then doesn't kill the main guy.
I'm too good to kill you, mob boss, with like hundreds of men are dead.
You failed this city.
Basically that, right? But every issue. He also becomes increasingly mentally unstable, alternating between bouts of enraged violence, paranoia, terrible remorse for all of his actions he did in the enraged violence and paranoia.
I hope that comes up in weaknesses. Just terrible remorse.
Even resorting to murdering innocent police officers who get in his way and then feeling terrible about it afterwards. His mounting guilt culminates in Chase contemplating the course of his life. And in the infamous Vigilante issue number 50, self-doubt finally takes its toll as Chase made one wrong-headed move too many, so he decided it was time to put a definite end to his mission himself.
By moving away.
Living happily ever after. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's pretty coherent with the tone of the series, but it's got to be up there as one of the worst endings of a comic book run of all time.
Yes! Like, in a better run, that's a satisfying ending.
Sean, I'm not joking, right? But why not have him sacrifice himself in the heat of battle, or to achieve any kind of purpose in any grander scheme that you do the heroic, I'll sacrifice myself one final time.
Because the lesson of that story then is don't ever try. You'll only make things worse. You know?
So,
like,
he just straight up puts a gun to his head, and that's the end of the issue.
Interesting. And is it like you just hear a bang and it cuts to the outside of the apartment kind of a deal?
It's just him talking in the final issue panels, just being like, "This is the end. I have nothing more to give." Just
see, there is a very satisfying. This is a weird fucking sentence.
I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm interested to see.
In the same vein of a story that ends with one of the primary characters committing suicide. There's a very satisfying one of those. That is Craven's Last Hunt.
See, yeah, but that's a good story from start to finish.
This is the thing. That's a good story with a consistent tone across the whole thing.
Yeah.
But to meander for 150 issues and then just end it like that is insane.
Like, I was reading them, right? And genuinely, every issue is, should I kill or should I not kill? Oh, fuck, I'm so mad. I'm actually not that mad. Well, I'm pretty mad, but I'm not actually that mad. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill that policeman. I shouldn't have killed that policeman, actually, now that you mention it.
Whereas, like, the reason the Punisher works is because he is fully sure in his mind that he's doing the right thing.
He's committed to it. And even if you disagree, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he has a code and he sticks to it.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy, he's just a rich boy who doesn't know what he's doing half the time.
So what really makes this series stand out is that it covers like a lot of social issues that would never be brought up in a mainstream comic. So like it came up like racial profiling, drug addiction, homelessness, immigration, inflation, child kidnapping, sexual assault, paedophilia, the war on drugs, corruption in the government, homosexuality, terrorism, like how vigilantism affects societies, consequences of killing people. It's covers everything, but as I said, it covers everything, but like not in like a really satisfying. You're like, oh wow, that's interesting way.
Yeah, no, it covers it for the sake of like, hey, here's the issue where we say being gay is all right.
Yeah,
like, it's that kind of shit.
Which, in my opinion, was one of the major hallmark of comic books in the 80s. To be fair, was raising awareness, but it also can be done in a much better way. So this issue of Vigilante is, I wouldn't say it's a comfortable book, but nor would I ever say it's good.
Yeah, it's not, but it also, I don't think it's a book that challenges the reader or anyone. I think it's just doing stuff for the sake of it because editorial said.
But the idea was to challenge, but it's very hard to do a vigilante who...
It's hard to challenge when you don't stand for anything.
He stands for everything and nothing simultaneously.
He's an all lives matter kind of guy.
Because he's also then questioning everything he does. As you say with the Punisher, he could kill 50 people, but he's like, it's the right thing to do. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Even if you disagree.
Yeah, which you're meant to disagree with the Punisher. Like, the way he goes about things is wrong, but that character, that makes sense in that universe and that specific man, you know?
So, in terms of powers and abilities, Sean, as the Vigilante, Adrian Chase, superb hand-to-hand combatant, brilliant marksman, he also possesses the ability to heal quickly and regenerate his body from injuries as serious as stabbings or gunshot wounds, although he is capable of dying if the injuries are severe enough.
As we well know from issue 150.
In terms of weaknesses, the paranoia.
That will do it.
And the remorse.
Tremendous remorse.
Like, so much remorse, but simultaneously no remorse. So he's just kind of all the things.
Yeah, so much remorse, but never changes from any of it. Just keeps going.
Just does the same thing again, the next issue, and then feels bad about it.
Yeah, it literally, like, he's the perfect Arrow villain, to be honest with you, because...
Exactly. Because Arrow forgets all the time.
But, and like, towards the end, that becomes a bit more expedited. First couple of seasons of Arrow, big fan.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan. Love that. Season 2, excellent.
Oh, great. There's one episode where they needlessly slag off Fallout Boy, but, you know, I'm not going to address that at all.
I mean, if you're coming at me and you're saying the Kids Aren't Alright isn't the best song of all time, then what are you doing to me? Like, come on.
Lads, what, you hit 4th of July on a summer evening with your boy? What are we doing? Save rock and roll. It's a perfect album, folks. It's no skip.
Oh man, we'll fight you, lads. Owners of Arrow, creators of Arrow Season 2. Come on, lads.
I think it's Season 1, Episode 16 it happens in. But
24 minutes in, I think. I'm guessing here. Season 1, Episode 16.
You know, I have it recorded. I'll send you the clip specifically.
Why did you record it? You're a madman.
Because I'm in a group chat with some Fallout Boy fans.
I have an agenda, Connor. I'm sorry.
We need to defend our grown men.
Because nobody knows who Fall Out Boy are. So they're a small indie band that need your protection.
Yeah, they're a small Chicago indie band who never amounted to much, to be honest with you.
I think that's the end of my report on Vigilante, Sean. I'm sorry for bumming everybody out.
Connor, you know what? People have to face hard truths in reality. You know? Wait, are you saying you're struck with tremendous remorse for having...
I would say I am struck with enraged violence, paranoia, and probably terrible remorse for doing the episode, yes.
Well, that's most episode recordings, folks. He does text me that after every show.
My feelings after every episode.
Would you like me to take us out, Connor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Monday with an episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast and also with an episode of Weird O's for Hire. Big thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Everyone over there helps keep the show free, ad-free, and as mental as we are allowed to make it. And over there, if you want to support us, there is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's @Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. Blue Sky is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever about the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lorraine.
Sean Lee.
We shall see you all this, guys.
Bye.